Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us also, a co-host, I'd say the king of comments, the magnificent Son X.
Next time, let's get it.
It's X time. Let's get it, as he says.
Baby.
If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the podcast, we welcome you here with open arms. This is an all sports podcast that takes place every single Sunday evening around about, I'd say about 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is usually when we start. So if you're new and you like the content that we produce, there's a few things that you have to do to make sure that you keep updated with when we go live and everything of that nature. You got to make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you get that ding notification anytime that we go live, and also that you hit the thumbs up button, that you hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it lets us know that you like the content that we're producing, and apparently it helps tickle the algorithm. It juices the algorithm to get this podcast out to the masses. That's right. A little tickle juice, Grumpy.
I think I want some sex printed touch of my undies. Oh, no.
God almighty. Today, we're going to talk about a lot of things that I'm sure
Use that algorithm, baby.
That's right. We're going to talk about a lot of things that I'm sure Grumpy's going to love to talk about, because guess what? It's that time of year where, believe it or not, we've got the college football playoffs continuing, wrapping, coming into form. Grumpy Old Man, he loves to talk college football playoffs. We know that.
Okay.
We've also got here some NFL news to talk. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking some NHL as well. So I'd say it's kind of a well-rounded show altogether, Grump.
Okay. I just want to let you know that last night, X calls me at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's running through every single possible scenario in college football playoffs. I just had to shut him down at like 3:45 in the morning. I'm like, dude, I got to go to bed. I can't.
No,
he was supposed to come over the house today. So I said, you can talk till you're blue in the face tomorrow. I said, but it's getting late. And he didn't come over today. So that's good. I said, and I keep on telling him, we've had these arguments every week. 4 weeks ago, there were going to be 7 undefeated teams in the championship. I said, let's wait till the games play out. He didn't listen. Then last week, well, all these SEC teams are going to make it. Let's they're all going to win. They're all going to win. Well, 3 of them got beat yesterday. They're all out. Every single one of them is out. And now his complaint is, who's the number 12 seed and who's the number 13 seed and who's going to get screwed? Nobody is.
somebody will.
Nobody will.
And also my other issue is the fact that every Power 5 conference, whoever wins the championship automatically gets a bid in. That's wrong.
What if a 4-loss team gets in there? I'm like,
well, that could happen.
Okay, but it's not going to happen.
Okay, here's I mean,
any given Saturday, Grump.
Here's the important thing. I'll tell you this. I do think I'm happy certain teams lost this weekend. They needed to lose because just, again, not very good. Happy that they're out of the picture. And I tell you this, some teams are just, they find a way to do the same things that they always do. Now, the big one, right? The big matchup was, Indiana, undefeated Indiana. Whoa, we've got Kirk Cignetti in the Indiana Hoosiers. Uh-oh, watch out. They got absolutely embarrassed. Okay. And I mean embarrassed against Ohio State.
Can I just stop you?
Embarrassed, Grump.
Can I just stop you?
Go ahead.
That game, the kid fumbling the punt right at the end of the first half, that was 7-7. That game was 7-7. I think it changes the whole tenor of the game. Okay. It absolutely did. They had opportunities. They didn't cash in the first half. And like I said, that kid dropping that punt, leading to a touchdown, that was the ball game. That's the turning point of the game. That game would have been way closer without that fumble. I think it totally deflated their sails going into the second half.
They were down by 7 points. That deflated the sails. They couldn't get up for a 7-point game in the second half.
It's the way it happens.
They're not a good team. They didn't belong in the game. The reason they kept it somewhat close in the first quarter is because they had like an 8-minute drive where they just run. And guess what? Ohio State said, hey, we're stacking the box. Go ahead and beat us passing the football. And they couldn't do shit, just like you expected. And a good team went out there and absolutely destroyed them, beat them, doubled up on the points on them. It's the reason why Indiana, the next team they play is the mighty Purdue Boilermakers. Guess what? They won't be playing in the Big Ten championship game, and a one-loss Purdue team has no right to belong.
They will make it in.
They will make it
They
in.
don't deserve it. They
will.
don't deserve it, and they don't deserve it. I'd rather take a lost Alabama team over that shit squad.
I had the same conversation with Grumpy yesterday, and I told him, I said, it seems like teams that actually play against ranked opponents are absolutely getting screwed when it comes to making
there are no again.
You're better off.
None of these teams are playing fucking cup schedules. They're not playing cup schedules.
You're better off going to some cupcake conference, playing no ranked opponents all year, and automatically getting yourself a bid.
It's the same thing like Penn State. Penn State did the same thing. Guess what? So you're going to have 4 Big Ten teams in?
Yeah,
think about this.
Yeah,
you're going to have 4 Big Ten hold on.
Yes.
Pause for a second. You're going to have 4 Big Ten teams. Penn State played 1 ranked opponent all year. They lost. Ohio State played a few ranked opponents. They beat a ranked Penn State. They beat another 3. They lost to Oregon on the road, and they beat Indiana. Guess what? Ohio State, even if they had 2 losses, is deserving of being in the college football playoffs because they've played a tough schedule, and they've played a tough opponent. Indiana, a team that's played 1 ranked opponent all year long, and guess what? They got it destroyed. But hey, they're going to make the college football playoffs. In Oregon, undefeated, deserves to be in the college football playoffs. I think it's that simple.
Look at Texas's schedule. Just for shits and giggles, look at Texas' schedule.
You have a problem with Texas' schedule?
Look up Texas' schedule. They ain't beat anybody either. No ranked opponents. No ranked opponents.
Not currently ranked, but when they play.
Okay, but they're not ranked. Okay. They're not ranked. It matters at the end. What's the rankings at the end? Because a team could be ranked first the first week you beat them, then they lose every fucking game. And guess what? They are not a ranked opponent.
They're playing number 20 Texas A&M this week.
Okay, no, I don't care about Texas A&M. They haven't beaten the ranked opponent yet.
That's a ranked opponent. That's a ranked opponent. Texas A&M at the end of the season, last week of the season, is ranked number 20.
They have not beaten a ranked opponent yet.
They're playing
they have not beaten a ranked opponent yet.
Playing one at the end of the season.
They only have 1 loss. They only have 1 loss. Listen, though, they only have 1 loss, and they're going to make it to their conference championship. Indiana's not making it to the conference championship.
That's correct.
That's right. Indiana's not going to make it.
Okay, so one team's going to a conference championship, and the other one's not.
The thing about the SEC that's different, that I think, hold on, the thing about the SEC that's different is because there's so many teams that are so close and jumbled together because it's the best football conference in the world, you're going to see a lot of these teams flip-flop. Like, for example, when they played Vanderbilt was at the time period a top 25 team, but then they lost back-to-back weeks, and they no longer are.
That's
Oklahoma at the beginning of the season was a top 25 team. And guess what? As much as you want to say Oklahoma sucks, Oklahoma's this, Oklahoma's that, they destroyed Alabama. That's my point. The SEC is a conference to where a team that you think, oh, they don't deserve to be ranked, oh, they've lost some bad games. They could go out and beat the best team in the country because it is the best football conference in the country. They're not playing Purdue, and they're not playing Rutgers, and they're not playing Northwesterns out there. So it's a big difference.
I got it. But the whole thing is, no, I absolutely do. But you're not gonna see any 3-loss team make the final 12. It's not happening. It's not happening. You're never going to see a 3-loss team. And here's the thing: Texas A&M is going to be a 4-loss team after this week.
Well, it could happen. You could see a 4-loss team make it into the
playoffs. Again, okay. I don't want to hear your fucking.
You absolutely could. It can't happen.
He's going out on the dark web now.
No, it can't happen. It can't happen. If UNLV lose to Nevada,
UNLV lose to Nevada, I can't do it again. I cannot do it again. I cannot go through another 2 hours of this.
And Colorado State beat UMass, then Colorado State beats Boise State for the conference championship. A 4-loss team makes it in automatically because they play in a Power 5 conference, which is wrong.
I cannot do it again.
So an unranked team is going to jump everybody else to 12.
It's not happening. What happens is you have the 5 power conferences, and I'm in full agreement with this. The 5 conference champions, they get an automatic bid, no problem at all, none problem. And then the best 7 teams after that. What's the problem with that?
No.
Top 12 teams make it in.
Yes, agreed. Like how it was previously when you had the top 4 teams in the country, they're the ones who make it. None of this bullshit. We need representation from each conference.
What's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. A team, one of the top 12 teams of Power 5 conferences, guess what? They're all going to be ranked within the top 12. And then you'll have no right to stand up.
Currently, they're not.
Complain again.
You're currently not ranked. You don't have representation from all 5 Power 5 conferences. You don't.
Teams in the tournament, and X would still complain about number 49 not getting in. It doesn't matter. Those teams that aren't good enough are going to get beat the first week, and that's that.
Here's the problem.
As a viewer, you should want the best. You should want the best thing out there on the field, the best product.
Okay, stop squabbling. So here's the problem, right? Like, again, like you guys want to get all pissy about it, but the truth is this. the bottom tier SEC schools or the middle of the road SEC schools that are going to be hanging out around that 12 to 15 mark would beat Indiana any day of the week. So it would make it a more competitive matchup, them playing, than a team like Indiana. They beat your Penn States any day of the week, which would make it a more competitive matchup to have them in than it would like a Penn State team.
No, I watched Mississippi lose to an inferior team yesterday. I saw Alabama lose to an inferior team with no offense yesterday, and I saw Texas A&M lose to a not a great Auburn team yesterday. I'm sorry. You have to win games. I don't care if the SEC is so. Let's make it the SEC Invitational. 6-win teams get it, and 6-loss teams get it. No, you lose 3 games, you're not getting it. Period. Notre Dame's going to
miss. Ole Miss this year. Ole Miss has beaten Georgia. They've beaten number 16 South Carolina. They lost to LSU, who's been ranked pretty much
unranked LSU, unranked.
And Indiana beat no teams.
If they win the last game of the year,
they're not ranked
again. Okay,
they're not ranked.
And then they go ahead and they lost to Florida by 7. So
what's Florida like 5-6?
Yeah, 5 and 6.
Now here's the thing: Florida
6 and 5, 6 and 5. They're 6 and 5.
Florida's been really good. Florida's been really good the last 3 weeks, but you know what? They were shitty at the beginning of the year. I put an argument that Florida is better than a lot of these other teams that are in there right now because of how they're peaking. Arizona State is another team that's peaking at the right period of time. BYU, done. The winner of I don't even know. Again, I was talking with Dex. I don't even know what the Power 5 conference are anymore. There's so many teams in all these conferences.
Power 4. You keep saying the Power 5. There's only 4. It's a
Power
5.
5 conferences.
We looked up last night. Okay. There's 5 Power 5 conferences. 4 get a first round bye. We looked up last night.
It's okay. It's the Power 4 conferences. They've gotten rid of the Pac-12 as a Power 5. Listen, they have.
It's the
Mountain Conference, or whatever, Mountain West Conference. Yeah, that's the new one.
The Power 4
with Boise State in it.
Okay, the Power 4 gets the first round bye. Those are the ones that are
not true.
Yes,
it
is.
Not true.
Okay, just pretend like I've looked this up ad nauseum and I know a little bit more about you on it. So it's always the ACC, the Big 10, the SEC, and then the Big 12 are always the teams that get that first round bye. They get in. That's just how it works.
You realize that it's not the case this year because the potentially, if Boise State wins out, they will be the 4th seed because they're going to be ranked higher than anyone who comes out of the Big 12.
Then Arizona
State
will
be the fourth bye. They will be.
Okay.
Unless Colorado State upsets them, and then you'll have a 4-loss team that makes it in.
For X's ridiculous scenario to play out, UNLV would have to lose this week to the worst team in the conference,
which could happen.
Nevada.
Could happen.
And then Colorado State would have to beat Utah State, and then they could get in the championship game.
What I hope happens from this entire debacle is that these teams that are inferior get in and they get absolutely destroyed, beat 50-0, because that's the only thing that's going to change it. Just people just go boop and turn out. What you need from this, what could be good about this, is if you have the best 12 teams facing off against each other, and they go ahead and create a fun, enjoyable game to watch. That's
agreed.
I don't care. I don't care. They just invented a number of new games for money. I don't care. The bad teams, the number 12 team is going to get knocked out by the number 5 team. That's just what's going to happen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Let you know something. And if the number 12 team, school is at number 12 or whenever,
you got to win games. Win games. Win and you're in. Win and you're in. Lose you're out. Win and you're in.
So what I'm hearing is go to the shittiest conference in the country, win out, and make it in every single year.
There's going to be 3 ACC
you
schools.
Like Notre Dame.
There's going to be 3 ACC schools. Are you okay with that?
There's not going to be 3 ACC schools.
There probably will. SMU will make it in.
Clemson's
not making it in.
Clemson's ranked number 12 in the AP poll, and they're going to win against. They win against the Gamecocks, the SEC. If they win, listen, stop talking and listen, please. You haven't done any of the research, okay? They play USC the last game of the season. It's the rivalry matchup. They're ranked number 16 in the nation. Clemson's ranked 12th. If Clemson wins, they won't play in the bowl game because SMU against Miami are the 2 bowl game matchups. So playing in the bowl game, but they're going to be a 2-loss ACC school that makes it in. SMU, who's only lost 1 game all year, and you've got Miami. I'm letting you know it's probably going to be 3 ACC schools that make it in. Are you okay with that?
There's not going to be 3 ACC schools. X and I walked through it last night, and again, the rankings that came out today are not the Bowl Championship Series rankings. That's not.
That's correct.
They're just not. So when that comes out Tuesday, you're going to see a real shakeup. You're going to see Arizona State take a big jump. You're going to see BYU drop. You're going to see Boise State maybe move up.
Don't worry. Grumpy thought that Texas A&M was dropping out of the top 25.
I said by the end of the year, Texas A&M.
He said this week they'll be out of the top 25.
Okay, I don't care too much about that, but like I do think at the end of the year they could be. If they lose to Texas, they won't be in the top 25. They're going to have 5 losses anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's something that needs to happen with the college football playoffs. I think there's a lot of craziness that's going to go on towards the tail end.
We're arguing about 12 and 13. We're arguing about last year. He was arguing about 4 and 5. Now he's arguing about 12 and 13. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those shitty teams are getting beat the first round. I don't care.
You're the one who probably would have advocated for Florida State to be in.
I don't care. They're going to get beat anyway. It doesn't matter.
I advocated for Florida State to make it in.
I did not. I did not.
So like Alabama, if they win the last game of the year, they're going to sneak in.
Look at SMU. How many spots did SMU jump? This is what the pollsters do. They look at, gosh, these guys are going to be in line for the championship game. So guess what? We're going to elevate them in the polls. It happens every freaking year.
Okay, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. They didn't jump a lot of spots. They jumped 2 spots. Congrats. Well, 2 spots.
Boise State jumped a spot. I mean, what happened to all those teams that lost? Oh, Ole Miss dropped out. Alabama dropped out. Who was the other shitty?
Alabama, if they win the last game of the year, will make it in the college football playoffs.
They absolutely will not. They absolutely will not. They will not. With 3 losses, it's not happening. It's not happening. And they got shit canned by Oklahoma yesterday. They were destroyed by Oklahoma. If Oklahoma had any offense, that game would have been 65-3.
I think what they should do is they should prioritize. If you play a tough schedule, even if you lose games, you get in. If you play a cupcake schedule, you get penalized for that. You have to go undefeated. If you play no ranked opponents and the one ranked opponent you play, you lose to, you don't get out. I don't care by virtue. You could lose to them by 1 point on the last second. Extra point.
I'm happy the way it is. I love it the way it is.
Then you know what? Every team that's in the SEC should just leave and go to the
shittiest
SEC in America and just play against nobody and automatically make it every year.
Teams, with how many teams are in the conference, they don't play a whole lot of good teams every year anymore because there's too many teams in the conference.
Some of these teams don't even have a ranked opponent on their schedule.
Yes. So again, like you look at it, Alabama or Auburn won by 2 points right at the end. Again, on an interception there at the end, I think it was. You've got here Oklahoma. I mean, like they played Bama extremely hard. Now, again, Bama's been – go ahead.
I said it was their defense. Their defense always steps up for them. All the games they've won this year has been their defense.
Look at Kansas. Kansas beat 3 ranked opponents this year.
Yep.
Should they be in there?
Well, seeming by virtue that they only have 6 wins, no.
Well, why not? They beat 3 ranked opponents. They should absolutely been there. They beat 3 ranked opponents. That's the idiocy of your argument. You got to win games. Win games.
There's a fine line, Grumpy. There's a fine line to it, right? Like Kansas is okay. Kansas has 5 losses this year, Grumpy. That's why they're not making it in.
Why not? They beat all these ranked opponents. They should absolutely be in there.
They're 5 and 6.
They beat the ranked opponents.
They're 5 and 6. They have a losing record. That's why
doesn't matter. They beat the ranked opponents. That's your logic. That's your idiotic logic. You got to win games. Win all your games. Win and you're in. Win and you're in. You lose and you're out. Win and you're in.
Go to the shittiest conference on the planet. Just go to the worst conference on the planet. Play in there and play nobody and win out all your games. You're automatically in every year.
Play as an independent and line up Kent State. Line up. I'm Navy and I'm Army. Guess what we're doing? We're lining up Kent State. We're lining up every other crappy school that we can't Tulane.
They're not good enough.
If you're undefeated.
Winning you're in, right? Winning you're in.
Okay, both of you jabronis realize that strength of schedule is part of what they look at.
Your logic, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Your logic, it's not.
You're wrong. They don't just look at, let's just take the top 12. They have some type of algorithm that they use.
Yeah. Who's the most popular team you want to put them in to get views? That's what it is.
They slide guys up depending on who's making the championship games. They absolutely do that. I'm not saying it's perfect, but again, I told you this would happen. It doesn't matter how many teams you put in. You're always going to complain about 12 and 13. If there was 40 teams in there, 40 and 41. It doesn't matter.
It should just be the 12 best. Yep. None of these other stipulations.
Well, so the pollsters is all it counts? Who makes the determination? The pollsters?
Top 12
No.
teams.
That's it. I make all the decisions on this.
Screw this
else-
representation bullshit. Screw this representation bullshit. Top 12 teams
Just
make
the
it in.
the five big conferenences.
I cannot
One
wait
team.
for Colorado
Everything is
State
up
to
for grabs.
win the Mountain West
Okay,
and make
Notre
it in
Dame.
with 4
Get the
losses.
Notre Dame.
Get the
Who's Notre
comment.
Dame- Who's Notre Dame played this year? Who's Notre Dame played this year?
LSU.
Shitty LSU.
They're gonna make
We've
it in.
already. How many losses does LSU have? 5 now.
3 or 4.
Oh no, they got wait. They've lost their last 3 games. At least their last 3, maybe the last 4, and they're going to lose next week.
They lost the last 4, huh? They beat Army. Army was a top 25 team. The amazing Army team.
Army's not going to make it. Army doesn't play anybody, so they don't make it. Just
And they
because
lost.
doesn't mean you make it.
Okay.
Navy, another team that what do they
Army.
got? One
Army.
loss?
Okay, look at Army's schedule. Army's schedule might as well be just like Indiana's. Same shit. They're playing teams like Lehigh and Rice, Florida Atlantic.
Indiana plays in the Big Ten. It's a better conference. It's the second best.
No.
It's the second best.
They beat
conference.
Texas. Okay, Notre Dame beat Texas A&M. I'm sorry, they beat Texas A&M. They
They
lost
suck.
by 2 points in Northern Illinois. They beat Purdue 66-7.
Purdue sucks. Purdue sucks.
You were just
Guess who
arguing that
Purdue
point.
plays next week? Thank you for proving my point. Indiana plays Purdue. If they
Oh,
don't beat them,
Indiana kick the living shit out of them.
Indiana doesn't beat them 66-7. Chop them off. Get out of here. You're gone.
Notre Dame's making it. They're making it.
Yeah, because
as
you
an
know what they
independent.
did against the really bad teams? They pummel them 49-7 Stanford.
Who's Indiana? Indiana rolling the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, okay, sure. They aren't.
Beat up on the
Coach
really
had a bet on
shitty
Ohio
teams.
The only
State
thing I
yesterday.
could-
That's the only reason they
The only
lost.
poetic justice we need is that Purdue beats Indiana at the end.
Indiana's head coach was doing DraftKings commercials for, hey, vote for Ohio State this week. So you know he was selling out for his team. He knew he was going to make it in with 1 loss.
Yeah.
If they
So-
lose 2 losses, they don't make it in.
Let's start jumping in. Let's start doing some comments, X.
Colorado State, baby. Get ready for him.
DJ, you bastard. You booked another lame-ass guest. Look at this guy. He looks like an analytics nerd. I wonder who he's
Let's
talking
talk
about.
about you, X.
X, X
He shows up so
supposedly,
infrequently that he's a guest on the show now.
X supposedly just got out of the shower, but he looks just as scroungy as he always
No,
does.
I did just get out of the shower. I
Did
shaved
you
and showered.
soak, or is it the summer of stink?
Hold on,
No,
you
I
said you
shaved and
shaved and you said you shaved and showered?
What did you
Actually,
shave with? What did you shave with? A bar of
I
soap?
used the buzzer.
That's not shaving.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, let's
Running
continue.
back says, War Eagle Grump. Yes, I mean, hey, that was a big win yesterday. X was rooting for Texas A&M, so one of
Yeah,
his,
absolutely. I
one
was
of
rooting for
his-
Texas A&M because I wanted to throw a wrench in this absolute
one of
BS
his
that they have that's
ridiculous
going on.
scenarios would play out. I kept on saying Texas A&M sucks, and they choked the game away at the end. Good for Auburn. I hope they beat Alabama too. That'll be the end of the Alabama.
That kid who
55
dropped
loss
the
Alabama
ball.
Hey. Stay on topic, all right? Come
That
on.
kid who dropped the ball for A&M should have a duct
Next, Freedom
tape
Fund
to his
Adventure
hands.
says, I don't care. Freedom Fund Adventure says, it is a crystal clear fact that TJ cannot evaluate quarterbacks. He has zero idea what he is looking at. Great win by my Florida Gators. DJ Lagway has a special arm.
I watched him play. Again, he made a few good throws. I'm going to let you know something. This kid, anytime he gets pressure, throws the ball up. And sometimes he hits on it, sometimes he doesn't. Simple as that. I'm not a big Lagway guy. They won a close game. They've been playing somewhat all right. You being able to run the football as a quarterback is not one of the top tier skills that I put that's necessary. So the fact that you could lower your shoulder and run through a few guys, I knew somebody else who could do that, another Jaden Daniels. But guess what? I know people like Jaden Daniels. I think he's just an average QB in the NFL. Let's move along.
My God.
He is.
Now he's losing to
Johnny
Auburn.
Mack says, finally a close win. Finally a close win for Auburn. That's true. They've lost a lot of close games.
Johnny Mack.
Don't count Noodles out of making the playoffs as a wild card, Grump. Soft schedule, playing much better. But Miami should be. They're playing a pretty easy schedule down the stretch. Will he stay healthy?
That was funny. He said soft schedule, like to his head.
Oh, shit. Freedom Fund Adventure says, Sun X, how is Charlotte's favorite dog? Sun X makes a valid point about teams playing soft schedules are benefited in the playoff format like overrated Miami Hurricanes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just one last thing and we'll end it. If you go ahead and play in a Power 4 conference, don't schedule a single tough out-of-conference opponent. Rack up 4 easy wins against the shittiest teams and just rely upon the fact that you can win some conference games. And that's going to go ahead and put you into the playoffs. If I'm an SEC school, I'm never scheduling a hard out of conference schedule now.
They don't anyway. They don't anyway.
Georgia plays Clemson.
Georgia, South Carolina play every year.
One exception.
Wouldn't
but you got to remember, these schedules.
South Carolina plays Clemson every year too.
You have to realize these schedules are set up years in advance, right?
Well, I'm just saying, in the future, we're not doing that. Opponent.
Yep.
Oh, what the heck, X?
Sorry, something came through on the computer.
Typical X, not prepared per the usual.
I am prepared.
My little brownie, Grumpy.
Baby Liza's birth ruined everything. Just kidding, of course.
No!
It's now a coin toss of day and time of podcast. WTF. Hey, let me tell you something.
We'll always be live on the day that we're supposed to be live.
I sent TJ and X something that I thought would be very important. I was hoping my little brownie would be listening to the show today. Our boy, Max von Stompen.
Max von Stompen.
He won his 4th consecutive F1 championship today. Congratulations to our boy, Max von Stompen. Yes.
He's kind of young, isn't he?
Huh?
He's still kind of young, isn't he?
He's still pretty young. He can continue to win. I know they've had the problems with the Red Bull thing, and my little brownie could chirp in on that because, I will say my knowledge for that is not at her level, not even close. But I saw it. I often send TJ things on F1, but he just says, screw it. I'm a tyrant. I'm going to put in what I want. It doesn't matter what anyone wants. It's the TJ show. Rah! Congratulations, Max. Mighty Max. James Farrell, long time no hear. Hey, guys, long time no see. Very true, James. Good to have you back. James says, we are Penn State. That was a good game. TJ, did you see any of the Penn State game?
He's frozen.
He's frozen. Okay, well, that's a him thing, not an us thing. I tell you what, I like Allier, their quarterback. I think he's pretty good.
Didn't they barely win?
They did. Minnesota played them tough. Like I said, that's what happens in these games, right? You often see teams, there's no way they should lose this team, no way they should beat this team. And you see it because, the margin of error is just so close. It doesn't matter. When I'm just looking for fun games, that's it. James Farrell says, you guys see the ending of the Cowboys game. X, did you see the ending of the Cowboys game today?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think about that?
Why the hell did the guy for the Cowboys run it in for a touchdown? You're talking about the onside kick at the end.
No, I'm talking about there was 21 seconds left in the game.
Oh, you're talking about the touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin.
Right. 21 seconds to go in the game. And all they got to do is tackle him and bounce. The game's over. He gets a touchdown. They missed the extra point.
I know. And then they went for an onside kick. But the thing that was stupid is the guy for Dallas goes to run it in for a touchdown.
Why? Why is that a problem? It put him
because you are literally giving the Commanders an additional chance to score a touchdown now and then go for a 2-point conversion and tie the game up. Well, all you'd have to do is take a knee if you went down to the ground.
Well,
you have no timeouts left.
I've got that actually queued up. I wanted to kind of go ahead and show because it was, you talk about a crazy and wild ending. Now, again, Adam Siebert, who's been a pretty good kicker all year long.
How do you miss the kick?
It was miserable for both teams. Aubrey was missing kicks today, too.
He missed 2 field goals today.
Yep. Got one blocked.
And
they also had a punt block, the Cowboys. The Cowboys deserved to win that game, though.
Okay. They were better than Washington.
Yep.
Here's what, again, to put this up on screen so we can watch it. They had 33 seconds remaining left in the game, down by 7. And I want you to watch this. Now, I don't know who this is worse on, Adam Siebert, the kicker, or the Dallas Cowboys defense. How the hell do you allow this play to happen? Let's let it watch.
Unleashing the quarterback. Half a minute, no timeouts. Daniels throws down the sideline for Terry McLaurin. McLaurin strikes twice.
Wow, we couldn't see anything.
Defense, do you
I did not see anything. Replay.
He covered the last 50 yards like in a snap. I don't know what speed you played it. It never works. I keep telling you it never works, and you continue to roll insane speed out.
Is this better for you, Grump?
This is better. This is better.
Much better. Whoops.
Like,
all you got to do is just terrible coverage. Terrible coverage. I'm not blaming the last guy. He had to see if he cut across the middle of the field. But the other guys, you got 3 guys. How do you let him get behind you? You just can't let the guy behind you.
That's what happens when you're running backups because you have so many injuries in your secondary.
Maybe they're just a shitty team. You ever think
you start to see they're lining up 1-1-1, kick the extra point. Oh my God.
It looks worse every time I see it. Every time I see it.
He had missed 2 extra points today and a field goal, I think.
I think there must have been wind currents in that stadium.
He came back from injury. I mean,
Aubrey never misses kicks. He missed a 30-something yard field goal and a 42-yarder. Yep. I mean, he doesn't miss anything, and he missed 2 kicks today.
I don't know how you do that. Now, this is what happened right towards the end.
What are you doing?
They know an onside kick is coming, and they still get burned.
Now, again, this happened earlier on. This is with 3 minutes left remaining. They say, I'm going to take this one back.
Whoa, cut down. That was right after they got within 3. I'm like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. Here's the thing. But admit it, it was fun to watch. The last 5 minutes of that game was fun to watch.
Yes, I agree. It was fun to watch. There was a lot of craziness and chaos there, but absolutely fun to watch. I 100% agree with you there too, Grump. But
can I just say one thing about the NFL? The Chiefs are not winning Super Bowl this year.
Chiefs are not very good.
They're not.
Again, almost found a way to lose today.
The Panthers. They made Bryce Young look like an NFL quarterback today.
Yeah. I was joking around. I'm like, Bryce Young, this is going to be his true Super Bowl game right here. Bryce Young is going to do it. And I was shocked that he played as well as he did.
He looked good today. They gave him a little bit of pass protection today. Here's the thing. It is what it. Okay, thanks for popping this up in the middle of my thing there, X.
Okay, here, continue your rant.
It's too late now. You ruined. What the hell?
Hold on. This X, not a good showing for him. Yes, James Farrell. I 100% agree. Something also odd that I want to talk about. What is up with?
Just pop up a fucking comment as TJ is talking about something, X. That's real good. There you go. Perfect. Go ahead.
Remove this, please, X, because there's a point that I want to bring up, a topic I want to talk about. What is up with teams celebrating becoming bowl eligible like it is like them winning the national championship or beating the number 1 team in the nation?
It's today's society.
It happened twice to 2 very historically good programs this weekend. Now, okay, I will say this. Nebraska, now they put this up. Nebraska has not been bowl eligible for 8 years. And look at this. They become bowl eligible. And look at, I'm getting kind of like douche bumps because I'm like, I cannot believe the fans.
Douche bumps? What a douche bumps?
Because it makes me feel like, ugh, it's just like, what a douchey
douche bumps? Douche bumps.
Yes, what a douchey move by them. Okay. They become bowl eligible. And they're like, oh, hey, let's storm the field. Yeah, everybody's got their phone out. Woohoo, we're storming the field. They're falling all over the place. They're too busy worried about recording. But I'm like, you beat 5 and 6 Wisconsin, and you become bowl eligible, and you storm the field.
Well, good for them. They haven't made a bowl game in 8 years. The kids are excited.
Absolutely not good for them. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. You know, you know what? There has to be a level where you have to be like, okay, gotcha. Like USC. They beat UCLA this weekend, and they became bowl eligible. And look at this. They're going ahead and throwing and stamping the flags in, like, yeah.
Well, I think that's stupid. I don't think that's their natural rival, though.
Oh, here's my thing. That was nowhere near as good as when Baker did it to Ohio State. And you want to know why Baker did it to Ohio State? Because they sung Oklahoma's fight song when they beat Oklahoma at home.
When you do dumb things like that, you know what's going to happen the next time?
Yes.
You want to know what's going to happen the next time UCLA beats USC?
They're going to do the same shit.
They're going to do the same thing. I think that's kind of dumb. But the kids jumping on the field, they haven't been in a bowl game in 8 years. Guess what? They do not remember when Nebraska was a good team. They weren't even alive when Nebraska was a good team. So I don't have a problem with the kids coming on the field for being bowl eligible when you haven't been bowl eligible for 8 years.
I'm sorry. No. Don't storm the field because you achieved mediocrity, Islanders fans 2.0. Sorry. I don't care how long it's been. Just because the Islanders make the playoffs after 10 to 15 years of not, doesn't mean you start celebrating like no tomorrow.
So the Islanders players should be flipping their gloves off, jumping around after they qualify for the playoffs.
Well, that's not happening anytime soon. After they don't make the playoffs for the next 15, 20 years, then they can flip their gloves off when they finally make it.
So hold on. Is it like the same thing as the United States beating Russia in the
That was a big deal. That was a big deal. Why should they celebrate? They were only in the
a little different. It's a semifinals game of the Olympics. It's not like we're saying, hey, we became bowl eligible in college football. A little different. There's a little bit of a different level of magnitude to that, Grump.
Good for
levels to
Nebraska.
this.
Good for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Freedom Fun Adventure says 2 is 6-0 versus the pathetic Patriots. Noodles absolutely bent them over and gave them a rough and dirty ride. Just did anything they wanted to those dirty girls. New England quarterback has potential, but that head coach is shit. 100% the head coach is shit. He's a DEI hire, by the way. And I just want to say one other thing. He almost threw 2 interceptions in a drive just before the end of the first half instead of just taking the field goal, stupid bastard head coaches. It drives me crazy. Our boy Dan Campbell, TJ's hero, Tank McNamara, they had
What's the record?
What?
I'll let you get your point. I have a few questions for you.
And Detroit's a good team. I'm rooting for Detroit. I want Detroit to win. This idiot head coach is going to cost them. He will cost them like he did against San Francisco last year. You watch, it'll cost them. His idiocy and stupidity, listening to the analytics geeks, the X's of the world, the little goggles wearing guys who sit up there in the press box. Let me move my slide rule to left. Oh, we got to go for it here. They had an 8-point lead in the third quarter against Indianapolis. 4th and 1 from Indianapolis is 14. What do you do there? What would Andy Reid have done? You kick the field goal. You go up by 11 points. It's a 2-score game. What does he do? 4th and 1. Oh, no hesitation. We're going for it. You got stuffed. You didn't get it. Now, Indianapolis sucks. Okay, they're another of those sucks. They're the Islanders of the NFL. A team stuck in the suck zone. So it didn't matter. It's going to cost them. It will cost them. And here's another one. The Chicago Bears. They scored a touchdown to make it 24-16.
Yes.
What do? The analytics say you go for 2. Why? Kick the fucking extra point. You're down by 7. Of course, they get it.
They did score a touchdown later on and then get the 2-point conversion. So they did force it to overtime.
Is it not easier just to kick extra points?
I would think so, yes.
There you go. That's my point.
That's the easier route. Now, it's funny because now you talk about Tank McNamara and Dan Campbell. Do you happen to know what the Lions record is?
They're like 10-1.
That's right.
They're damn good.
Hold on. Do you know who scored the most points in the NFL this season?
The Lions.
That's right.
Yeah, they're great. They're really good. I'm rooting for the Lions.
I don't know. You're complaining about.
I think the head coach is going to cost them a big game. That's what I'm saying. It could be in the Super Bowl. It could be the NFC Championship. He'll cost them a game because he's unwilling to. Here's the thing. Dan Campbell was a nuts and bolts guy when he was a player. He was a tight end, a blocking tight end, played for the Giants under Parcells. You think Bill Parcells would have done all this stupid shit? Absolutely not. You got to have more points on the board.
Campbell is a better head coach than Bill Parcells, Grumpy.
Stop, please.
I will say this. Now, also the Lions defense conceded the second least amount of points in the NFL this season.
Imagine if they hadn't lost
Aiden Hutchinson,
yes. A big loss. They pick up somebody at the deadline, and also they lost somebody else last week too, a linebacker who's really good too, Anzalone. I think he's going to be out for like 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, that sounds like the end of the year to me. But I'm rooting for. Who's not rooting for Detroit? Unless you're, a Chicago Bear fan or some other team fan, you're rooting for Detroit and Buffalo. Wouldn't you love to see Buffalo and Detroit in the Super Bowl? I think it'd be great.
I'd be fine with Buffalo winning. I'd be fine with Detroit winning. That'd be fun. It'd be fun.
Absolutely.
I mean, like now the one team I'm like, I do kind of want to see. They've won a lot, but I'm like, I'd like to see the 49ers finally get over the hump and win.
Well, that's not happening.
I hate Turdy now.
Well, he's hurt. I mean, he played hurt last week, too.
It doesn't matter. They're not making the playoffs.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
They're going to lose to Green Bay tonight.
They're going to be 5 and they're not making the playoffs. Sorry. Bye-bye.
Guess what? You want to? I think Chris McCaffrey's done.
I think he's still. I don't think he's 100%.
I think he's done.
I don't think he's done. But
guess what? If you're not back 100% and you had all off season and 10 weeks in the regular season, you're done. As a running back, you're done. That's it. Hang up the cleats. He's done. Turn out the lights. His career's over. All good things must come to end. That's it.
I'm not going that far.
Done. Hey, everybody. I sent something to TJ that I think Grumpy will enjoy. We'll go ahead and pull that up here. X, continue with the comments. Let's pull that up.
Drew also adds, honestly, with the amount of times I hear Grumpy saying people are wrong, I'm shocked TJ hasn't added Donald Trump saying wrong to his storyboard, to his soundboard. Yeah, why not? Wrong. And I should be in charge of it. Wrong.
We Hoopins reaction to the Ravens losing to the Steelers. Full version.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, don't worry.
Oh, yes.
Secret. Grumpy, do you know who this is?
That's that freaking Wee Hoopin' character. Look at him. Look, it looks like his mom made him clean up the attic. You know what they have done? They have soundproofed the floor and the walls. They don't want to hear him anymore. He's got you know how much of a loser this guy is? He's got a Cam Newton poster and a Lamar Jackson poster. You add the two of them together, and guess what? You still don't have a quarterback.
I want to mention something today that Baker Mayfield did that Cam Newton never would have done. Did you see Baker Mayfield dive for that fumble today? Yeah. Head first, dove for that fumble.
We're going to talk about Baker Mayfield today. He's on our arc of redemption. He's on the arc of redemption. We're going to talk
about.
You,
Baker
all righty. Listen, I'm nothing but fair and honest. He's on the arc of redemption. We'll talk about it. Now, I want to put this up here. Now, remember, Wee Hoopin' is in your area. X and Grumpy. He's in Charlotte. We
don't know that for true. We don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
No, he is.
Yes, he is.
His mom. I like how his mom made him clean up the attic, though. I do like it.
Look at him. He's got like some car replicas in the background. He likes to collect toy cars. Grumpy old man. Look at that.
Die-casts, what they're called.
Oh, look at this.
I don't get douche bumps when I see him. I just think douchebag.
Oh, well, isn't that cute? Now, I will tell you, the Steelers, thank God they lost on Thursday. I don't know how the Steelers continue to win games. I honestly don't.
You know what? They're
a well-coached
organization.
Team. Very good team. Very good coach. I'd say Tomlin again. He'll go down as one of the best coaches in NFL history, I think. I think he deserves that title too.
They're a good organization.
Okay. Let's watch here. Let's watch Wee Hoopin' for a bit.
Subscribe to my YouTube and TikTok. Thank you, everybody. Lamar Jackson's a running back. Lamar Jackson's a running back. Lamar Jackson.
Okay, Grumpy. Are we echoing X or is that Grumpy?
It's not.
You're echoing. You're echoing.
Okay. Well, let's just start watching him. He's obviously getting. Oh my God, he's getting a little upset. He's terrible.
Did you ever see people used to rip phone books? Well, he can't even rip a paper towel.
Oh he is. I think we need to give him a phone book.
He is going bald.
I know he is. But I think
from all the Ravens stress.
That's right. It is. Look at it. He's throwing around
his little puppy dog.
Oh no! Don't tear its head off. No! Don't do that. Wee Hoopin'. No! Grumpy, look at that. Oh no, Grumpy. Wee Hoopin's so upset. He's got 2 calf sleeves. That's how serious he is about the Ravens. Oh man, people love when the Ravens lose to watch him just have these apoplectic attacks. I hope the older he gets.
Who the hell wears black shoes with white socks?
He's wearing his cleats, I think.
And he's wearing leg warmers?
Perhaps.
Oh, maybe she's locked him in the basement.
No, this looks like it's downstairs. Oh, he's got his golf clubs out here, Grump. Oh, no. Oh, no, Grump. Look at this.
I don't even know what that is.
It looks like a board that he puts like you could put Tic Tacs in or like not Tic Tacs.
His mom is not home. You know how
he's using his dad's golf clubs right now.
You know what? His mom is not home. You know how you know? Because he's carrying on like this.
Oh my God! Hold on, it gets better. He's hitting the piano.
Bring, bring, bring. Does it make noise?
Oh my! Well, I'd say that iron is probably ruined as a golf club.
I think it's a wedge.
Oh my goodness!
This is great. I know it's echoing, but I want to listen to it. Oh,
Rice cracker.
Oh my gosh, he's 2 foot stomping on that thing. Just look at the amount of carnage that's on the ground.
I'd like to see him smash his little toy cars over there. Now that's everything else is a setup, of course.
I don't think he's setting up destroying.
Oh, man, he's flipping the bird.
He's tearing more things apart. Yeah, maybe these stuffed animals, but I don't think he's.
His
I
little
don't
voice
think
is
every
different.
single time they lose, he's like, great, I'm going to go ahead and destroy my piano. There's only so many pianos. Now he starts ripping his shirt off. Oh, he's ashamed.
Oh no!
Hulkamania.
Sonny.
Hulkamania, Grump.
He can't even rip his shirt.
Hulkamania.
He must be a Kamala Harris fan. None of them could rip their shirts off either.
All right, Grump, we're going to have to put you in timeout again because you can't
Time
control
out. Hold on.
Put him in timeout. Put him in timeout. Can't control himself. There you go. Can't say dumb things, Grump. Look at him tearing his leg sleeves off. He's a little upset. Let's see what else he does. Oh, he gets up close and personal. Let's. We can bring Grumpy back for this one.
Let's hear what he says.
You going to complain about the echoing again per the usual? You're gonna complain, Grumpy? Let's listen.
Hear what he says.
Y'all are non-existent in the playoffs. Y'all will not.
Imagine losing to a team that only scored field goals and running back QB stop you from losing again.
Imagine losing to a team that only scores field goals.
Oh man, dude, his hair. I don't know if he's purposely done that with his hair, but it is not looking good, my man. It's not looking good there in the hair. Oh gosh, he should shave it.
First of all, he is not a man.
Oh, Grumpy, he's got the body of a Greek god. What are you talking about? Oh, that was good. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah,
we needed to see that.
Athena.
We needed to see that. That's always fun. Go ahead there, X. What other comments do we have?
Next, X.
Oh, sorry.
Freedom Fun Adventures. There is not a man on this planet who could have had a full head of hair with these two as sons. Very true.
That's fair enough.
Drew says, I think Daniels is still hurt. Dude is good.
He sucks.
I don't think he sucks. I think their offense has regressed, though. And absolutely, I think that's fair to say.
Has he beaten a team that has above 500 record this year? I'm just curious.
Couldn't tell you.
The answer is no.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
Well, why don't you just say he hasn't? Because I don't know.
I do want to go ahead and put something up here. Now, I think we talked about this. The analytics crew. Now, Grumpy, John Gruden. This may shock you a little bit. John Gruden is not.
You can't see anything. It just says from Meta with the Instagram thing.
Yeah, it's trying to load here. Give me a sec, okay? 1 minute there. Okay, gotcha.
No, sometimes you think that stuff's up and it's not really up. So I was just letting you know.
I'm gonna go ahead and let us listen to this here. Now, we always talk about the analytics crew. Now, this may shock you. John Gruden's a big analytics guy, Grumpy. I'll let you listen to it.
I goes, hey, Coach Gruden, go for it right here. Go for it. I'm like, okay. We go for it. We get stuffed. I go, hey, fuck you up there, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Aggressive. It's 12-10, man. We get the field goal.
Yeah.
The offense was moving. But those two plays, they got stuffed so bad. It was second down was the play.
Yeah, and third.
Huh?
I do love that. I love when he does this little impersonation of the analytics geek. He's like, hey, Coach Gruden, I think we should go for it here. Anyway, so again, they brought him on to Barstool because remember, after the items have popped up with him in the emails years ago, he's pretty much like persona non grata a little bit. But he's slowly getting back onto the scene. And again, he's hilarious there in that Barstool Sports environment. So next comment there by Frank Grump.
Freedom, my man. I'm good. Crazy schedule. So hard to catch these early shows. I'm just finished watching last night's Islanders podcast. LOL.
Oh, yeah. We won, just like I predicted as well.
Drew says, I'm just glad the Giants got rid of Daniel Jones finally. Yes. Might come at the cost of our GM and Dayball, though, which I won't be happy about.
I have no problem with it. He's not the right GM for you. He's not the right GM for the Giants fans. It's funny. We're so many years away from being good.
Yes.
And the problem is this. If they draft a guy like Shedeur Sanders, we're miles away. It's like drafting another one of the wrong QBs. Now, I want to put that up on screen because, oh, man, he's just always – he gets so much attention always around Shedeur Sanders.
Can I just say one thing? Are you going to show the thing with the referee?
Yeah, we'll show that too.
Okay, because I just like how the media portrays it. It appears he shoved a referee. So you know what that means? Since they're covering for his ass, he absolutely shoved. I haven't even seen it, but I'm going to tell you he shoved the referee.
Look at this. Oh, this is assault. Oh my gosh. This is all the fans, everybody online. Oh my God, this is so awful. You know what this is? It's a guy trying to make a tackle. It's a late hit, probably. The guy ducks his head. He tries to go ahead and tackle him on these. Oh man, he's trying to take him out. They're just so dirty, that Kansas team. I'll let you watch it. It just looks like a guy trying to make a tackle, and he dove at his legs, and he was a little late. That happens in the game of football. Happens all the time. He's lucky he did him in the thigh, because that's really where the injury is. Not hitting a guy in the knees when his legs aren't planted and he's running, but hitting him in the thigh like that's how you go ahead and have a real contusion. Let's watch. That's it. Tackled him, and he's fine.
Boom, baby. Enjoy.
No, again, like, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. The guy definitely is going there to make a tackle.
I think he's trying to hurt him.
I think he's going low.
That's cheap shot. Sure.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying, I'm like,
here's the thing.
If that's any other quarterback in college football, is that getting the press like this is now?
No, but here's the thing. When you run your mouth all the time, and that's why I say it, you want to run your mouth, there's going to be payback. There's payback for running your mouth.
Yep. Enjoy. I love it.
Mouth.
I love it.
I don't love it because he's deliberately trying to hurt the kid.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I think he's a shitty quarterback.
Okay, listen. The ball is still being in the process of throwing. His head's already down trying to make the tackle, guys.
You're not allowed to hit the quarterbacks low. He's aiming low.
He's out of the pocket running around.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's one that I have no problem if they throw a flag on that, because I think that's a penalty. But guess what?
It definitely is.
The guy here is trying to make a tackle. Shedeur Sanders is a guy who can run the football around. So
no, he's not. He's not a runner. He's not a very good runner.
He can get out of the pocket, and he can escape, and he can run the ball.
He did not get his dad's
I'm happy with a guy trying to make a tackle like that. It's better than a guy trying to hit him up top and trying to hit him in the head like that and gets a helmet to helmet. Where do you want the defender to make the tackle, right? That's the thing.
Middle of the body.
Because if he hits him in the head and he gets a target and they throw him out, it's like, oh, man, that's even worse. Middle of the body. He's trying to just tackle him around the legs. I have no problem with the penalty thrown.
That ball is so far gone. It's absolutely.
His helmet's already down.
Okay.
You understand it,
He's
right?
trying to hit him low. He deliberately went at him low.
So what's the difference between this happening and then a tight end? Okay, here's my thing. Here's my thing. What's the difference between this happening and a tight end going out to catch a pass where he's not even looking and getting hit at the knees?
The ball
is that intent to injure?
He's a quarterback. The ball is gone. It's long gone. He absolutely could have pulled up. He didn't.
Tough. It's tough.
I'm just saying this. The guy from Kansas has his helmet down. He's not paying attention. Again, that's the reason why that flag exists. That should be a flag. But I don't think it's intent. I think he's trying to hit him hard. He's trying to hit him around the legs. But I don't think he's like, oh, good, the ball's gone. Let me take a free one and a free run at him. I don't think that's good. His helmet's down. He's not paying attention. He's not doing a good enough
3 yards away from him.
Oh, yeah, I've got no problem. It's a penalty. They didn't throw a penalty on this, but it deserves to be a penalty. You're not seeing me argue that. I'm just saying people are like, oh, it's assault. Oh, man, they're really trying to injure him. I'm like, okay, we're taking a little far, I think, on that. I think he's just not paying attention. He's not doing a good job as a defender. But again, so, that happened. And again, people online like Robert Griffin Jr. III. Oh, man, this is just.
He's trying to look for a job.
It could be.
I'm being honest. He is.
He's with that one now. So maybe, but again, like, oh, they're trying to rough him up. Now, this is the play right here. Where they're talking about how he shoved the official. Now, again, I think this is all of nothing. He did shove the official, but again, you're not allowed to touch the official.
That's
if
right.
you touch the official, it's an immediate ejection.
That's right.
You can't go like this or push him out of the way, because as soon as you touch him, it's flag goes up in the air and you're tossed from the game.
That's right.
So again, that's what I'm like. The officials are trying to do the best they can. You're not allowed to shove the official, but let's watch.
The media who's in the tank for Colorado and Deion Sanders.
Yes.
They paint us. He appears to shove an official. I haven't even seen it yet, and I'm going to guarantee you he shoves the official.
So we'll put it in slow motion. Now, again, it's going to make the shove obviously look a little bit more hyperbolic than it is, but it's because of I've got the issue with the latency on this. So the guy goes up over the top of him. He's yelling at the official, like, why is that not a call?
He absolutely shoved him.
He just pushes him a little bit like that. Now, here's the thing. You're not allowed to shove the guy.
You're not allowed to touch him.
And again, like, it looks like, what we talk about when officials lose the game and lose control of the game? You got the other guys coming up over there trying to, and the officials are stepping in between. But it's like, it looks like at this point, the officials lost the game. They lost control of the game. Things get, again, Colorado's a team that likes to talk smack. Kansas is a team that probably wanted, it's probably talking smack. Again, it's just competitive juices flowing. I have no problem with them not being tossed there. But again, you're not allowed to push. You're not allowed to shove. But again, it looks like the officials lost the game at this point.
Here's the thing. Shedeur Sanders is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. Anyone who drafts him is going to be disappointed. He's a crappy teammate who never hesitates to throw his teammates under the bus to self-promote himself. He's just like his dad in that regard. Absolutely is. And he's not that good. He's just not that good.
I think you can't do that as a quarterback. You can get away with it at different positions like wide receiver, defensive back, things like that, right? Like, because it wouldn't be the first time that a defensive back has talked ill of his team. Like, guess what? Richard Sherman used to do that in his prime. Other guys have done that before. You can get away with that in certain positions. You cannot do that as a quarterback. That is something you cannot do. You have to be the ultra team-centered guy. Hey, the buck stops with me. I'm the reason we're not winning games. I need to do better. That's how it is when you're a quarterback. You can't go ahead and do that, though. And you can't take that like, oh, our O-line needs to do better. Oh, our guys need to start making plays. Oh, well, look at how many drop balls we have. Like, you can't do that as a QB. It's a good way to say and have people just say, F you, I'm not interested.
I would just let everybody through on the defensive line if you want to talk shit about the offensive line.
Oh, it's going to be like a longest yard X? You're going to be like an O-lineman from a longest yard? Here's the thing. All these guys want to keep jobs, so they don't do something that dumb. Yeah, but it's a good way to get your guys to tune out, and it's a good way to be like, I don't want to play alongside this guy. And that's not what you want. You want to have total buy-in from your team. I don't want the Giants drafting him. Simple as that. I don't want the Giants drafting him. Now, again, we're going to have to do more quarterback analysis as we get closer, but again, getting rid of Daniel Jones and they put Tommy DeVito in, we're obviously actively looking for.
Did you see what Baker did when he scored against the Giants today on that touchdown run?
I believe we're getting to that later.
Okay,
we'll get to it.
Drew says Giants locker room outside of neighbors are full of players with a loser mentality. That's what happens when you lose a lot.
Yep.
A loser mentality. Frank from Empire State says, funny how Grumpy yesterday badmouthed Croc and Palmieri and both had a great game. LOL.
I like that.
Good. That, you know what? Those lazy bastards should be playing better than they are. James Farrell also says, if the Islanders beat the Red Wings the other night, the Islanders be 1 point from the Rangers, and the Islanders have half the talent of the Rangers. Here's another thing. They're not. They didn't, and they're not. And the Rangers have games in hand. So
worth noting, the Islanders have played 2 more games than the Rangers, and we're 4 points behind them. And the Rangers have lost their last 2 games.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. The Islanders played the first 2 periods. Well, the third period, they were dying to collapse. They tried their best to blow another third period lead. They really did.
Palmieri is trying to do anything he can to prevent Noah Dobson from getting paid $10 million because he's
running over goalies.
Unimpeded running into goalies as Dobson scoring goals. I mean, again, like Kyle Palmieri must be in with Phil's facts. He must have that connection with that loser Phil.
He probably had orders from Lou. Hey, we're going to have to pay Noah Dobson $10 million a year. We got to keep his stats down. Run that goalie anytime he's got the puck.
All righty.
Drew says TJ telling X isn't prepared already wins the most ironic statement of the day. Remember yesterday? Frank from Empire State says, LOL, Brownie.
Yep.
Mahomes is Allen's dad. That must be our boy.
One of the Monroe brothers.
Yes, it's probably it's not Derek. He's not creative enough to come up with new names every week. But I'm going to tell you what, Alex is falling behind because this is an old nom de plume, if you will. Mahomes with another 30-yard rush with the game on the line to get into field goal position. How many times did Brady do that? No, he just used his arm. He's a better quarterback. He's able to throw the ball. He's not a running back. He's a quarterback.
Okay, and all
he beat the 3-11 freaking Panthers or whatever the hell they are.
In all seriousness, if you are a Chiefs fan and you're watching like, oh man, we're barely pulling off wins against teams like the Carolina Panthers, you're kind of starting to worry a little bit. At least you should start to worry. When you look at it, they're 10-1. What do you think the point differential is for the amount of points for versus the amount of points against? What do you think their point differential is, Grumpy, this season?
Maybe 50 points in their favor.
Okay, 10-1. You think it's only 50 points in their favor?
Yeah, I don't think they've been real good. Every game seems like it's close.
It's 62.
There you go.
Think about that. They're 10-1 and they only have a 62-point advantage. So they're winning every game by about a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, what's Detroit's points differential?
Huge. Largest in the NHL or largest in the NFL. I'm sorry.
Probably be the biggest in the NHL too.
Okay. Detroit's is 187. 187, 3 times as much of a point differential compared to the Chiefs.
What about Buffalo?
Buffalo. Okay, Buffalo, and again, they haven't played. Do they play this week? They play Monday? Or they already played?
No, they have bye this week.
Bye this week.
Okay, gotcha. The bye this week. Their point differential is 106. Again, so twice as much almost.
And they've lost 2 games.
Yes. Yep. All righty. Let's continue on there with comments there, X.
Frank from Empire State says, I say that Drew to my Giants buddy. X, we can avoid comments like that, just to let you know.
Sorry.
Frank from Empire says, yo, I was shocked that Karen Rodgers has better stats than Mahomes.
Yeah, he does have better stats than Mahomes. Now, here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers apparently wants to come back and play next year, but he does not want to play for the Jets.
Is it fair to say that it was a bad move bringing him into the Jets?
Yes.
Yes.
Not as bad as the Browns bringing in Deshaun Watson, though.
Oh, it's close. It's close.
No, not even close.
Fully paid, fully guaranteed contract or multi-year deal for Deshaun Watson? No, it's not even close.
Well, look at the players that they could have gotten with those draft picks that the Texans got.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. It's true. Yes. Drew says Giants are a good quarterback away from being respectable again. Most of the games they lost within 1 score. It's just Daniel Jones is horrendous. Even if we had Sam Darnold, the Giants might be 500. I disagree. I just think they don't have enough talent on the team.
Here's the thing about when you look about the Giants. They play in the worst division in all of football. The Dallas Cowboys are awful. I understand the Eagles have wins, and the Washington Commanders have wins. They're awful though too. They're not a very good team. Freedom Fund Adventure says here, Lagway hasn't run since he got injured in Georgia, gained by bad turf. Lagway has vision. I assume also arm and leadership, much better understanding of football than guys who are seniors. The real deal, and one of the few who are. I
remember somebody else who came from Florida who was the real deal.
He was never the real deal.
Who was that? Who was that?
Anthony Richardson.
AR-15, baby.
Yeah, again, another one. Yeah, right. Here you go.
Yep. Talked about that already.
Yep. Justin Siebert, by the way, TJ or Siebert, yeah. Austin Siebert. I'm sorry. Hit the thumbs up, says Frank. That's absolutely right. Thank you there, Frank. And he says, a freaking game was nuts. Yep. Did have a shock there. Speaking of Penn State game, a gutsy call on Penn State for going for the fake punt, going for the first down. They don't get the first. Penn State loses that game. And again, they barely won at the end of that game. They just don't deserve it.
Well, they kneeled down at the end. They could have scored a touchdown if they wanted to. I think it was a gutsy call, and I even said, X, were you here when that game was going on?
Which one?
The Penn State Minnesota game, or did you?
No, I think I was gone.
I did say to the warden, I said, this is where I'm looking for fake there. I think they had to go for on 4th down, and I like their quarterback. I'm sorry, that kid's gutsy. I like him. I take him on my team in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be a great starter, but he'll play on Sundays.
Yeah, I could do this. Drew says, can you do us all a favor and say werewolves? Yeah, absolutely. Werewolves.
Werewolves.
There you go. Let's keep moving along here.
Werewolves. A wolf. Freedom Fund Red says, UC world-class moron Princely Umalan making a pathetic attempt to pretend like he wanted to fight Florida fans. Went out of the stadium, up ramp, and then wrote God-based statement, hurt draft stock.
I don't know who Princely Umalan is. No idea who that is.
No, I don't either. Sorry.
I'll have to look that up.
James Farrell says bad loss for the Titans involving a late
Texans. They lost to the Titans.
Yes. Fairbairn's been a really great kicker. He missed a chippy at the end to tie the game.
Will Levis put extra mayonnaise in his coffee this morning.
Will Levis had a hell of a game. I tell you, he just needed a little bit of time on the bench, and Levis is there, baby.
Maybe he transitioned from, Hellman's to Dukes.
All right.
James Farrell says, guys, I didn't know the Islanders led the league in winning faceoffs. Yeah, that's the one thing. They've been good at that too, winning faceoffs. Drew says, I don't think Buffalo is winning either. They have no weapons outside of James Cook and Khalil Shakir. They have a different feel about them this year. They do. The one thing that can beat them is their coach is a moron, just like Dan Campbell. That would be like the loser bowl of head coaches in the Super Bowl, those two guys. Both of them there'd be no punts. We're going for on 4th down every time. Doesn't matter. They won't get it. What? 4th and 25 from our own 2? Let's go for it. That's the way it is. X.
Sorry, I was reading through stuff. Give me a second.
Freedom Fund Event says the Islanders have changed coach, GM, many players, and building, but still collapse. Goes back to Capuano. Don't they have to move Lee before and the rest before it stops? I think they should. I think everyone's available. Every one of the teams is available.
This is a problem, guys. Drew just sent me this. This is a big time problem.
Drew says, geez,
okay.
We Hoopin's hairline is worse than TJ's.
I'd agree. It's not saying much, but it is. So, actually, it is saying a lot. Here you go. Shedeur Sanders has been posting, thank you, God, immediately after every New York Giants loss.
I'm going to tell you what. The last team in the world. Okay. I won't say the last team in the world. Maybe the second last team in the world you want to go. Philadelphia is probably the last place you want to go because their fans are brutal. Giants fans, no way.
Hold on.
I want Shedeur Sanders playing.
This is not exactly line up because he said it on the 27th. They played on the 28th when they lost. So it doesn't exactly line up. I think they're looking for something to make a story out of.
Maybe just repost it.
I don't even know. Again, I have no problem with him saying thanks, God, but I just hope it's not because he wants to join the Giants. Oh, I don't want him there. Oof. Here you go. Drew, grumpy.
He needs to go to Turkey to get a hair transplant. Talking about We Hoopin and TJ probably.
Oh, no. He just said We Hoopin. Continue along.
Frank from Empire State says, Gruden for the Jets, please. Gruden for the Jets. No, he's done. No.
And Gruden's happy not coaching anymore. I'll tell you that.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, Grumpy beat him so bad, he never makes another video. Talking about my boy, We Hoopin. Frank adds, Freedom Fund Adventure adds, Frank, I would think any woman who is married to or dating a guy who watches the crap TJ and X does would leave them and go find a real man. Why is TJ
X
using
he stole my identity theft?
That's right. That's stealing. That's identity theft. Very true. Drew says, yeah, the Giants, I'm hoping for Cam Ward. I don't think there's any good quarterbacks in the draft this year.
Nope, I don't either. I would wait.
No difference makers.
Yep.
They should have traded up for Drake May. That's what they should have done.
Yep. Well, they couldn't. They couldn't. Did you watch the Hard Knocks for the off season? I guess it was. They did the one about the Giants. He went and approached the Patriots and asked if they were open to trading away their pick and or for them to move up, and they said no. They knew what they wanted. They wanted Drake May.
Well, it all depends on how much you offer. Goon says, is DeVito the man? Has Dog Z been banned? Tommy Cutlets stinks. Matter of fact, I'm having little chicken cutlets after the show, just to let everyone know.
Yeah, Tommy Cutlets, not the man. I wish he was here so he could pull up the Baker Mayfield touchdown celebration in honor of Tommy Cutlets.
He said he's going to bring that up when he talks about it. Next.
Where is he?
I don't know. Just get through the comments.
Oh, God, he sucks.
Drew says, if it's why I was happy with Dayball going with Tommy DeVito. JP says, good evening, gentlemen. Hope both of you are doing well. This pre-Thanksgiving weekend has been crazy, and I haven't had a chance to see either of your shows, but I'm leaving my thumbs up. Thank you very much, JP. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Gungu says, is it just me, or this year in the NFL, the kickers have truly stunk like a fart? TJ, what's the quickest way to your heart? Feed him. You want to make TJ happy. Just feed him. Throw him a food. He'll be happy. But actually, kickers been hitting – all right, this week there's been some misses the last couple of weeks, but they've been hitting a lot of 50-plus yard kicks this year. Freedom Fund Adventure adds, New York Giants moved on from Daniel Jones to bring in Shedeur and Deion Sanders. That would be an absolute freaking nightmare. I would not be rooting for the Giants until they get rid of them. Deion Sanders will not be a successful NFL head coach. He will not be. You can't bring all your gadflies and buddies who played with it during the day. It's more of an X's and O's game. Yep. I'm sorry. Not good. No. And Shedeur Sanders just isn't that good. I'm sorry. No. I'd much rather have the Ward kid over him, though, if I was drafted.
Now, this is what X was talking about a little earlier about Baker Mayfield. After, again, let me remove that, or let me lower that a little bit. Now, this is after Baker threw the touchdown. Look at him. Again, like they're up 23-0 at the end of the second quarter, and he's over here trying to hit the Danny Dimes or whatever, that Tommy DeVito little touchdown celebration. I don't know. Again, like
how How does Tommy DeVito get that helmet over his snout? X, you're the one with the biggest snouty we know. How would you get a helmet over the top of that?
He has it extended for.
They have to screw on the face mask. Ask you after you put the shell on.
No, they have it extended out for his beak.
Now, not a big fan of that. I am a fan of this, though. I'll let you watch. This is from Baker Mayfield earlier this week.
The Space Coast Vipers were a team that you guys donated $17,900 to for equipment. They went 1-8 last year. Yeah. They went 10-3, won the state championship. Yeah. How cool was that to see that, to hear that news? And they said that every week, they would have these watch parties where they would team bond over watching you play. They said you played a big part in their season. I
got chills thinking about it. It's just a cool story. Like I said, just got an unbelievable platform to be able to give back. And obviously they were in a predicament of probably not having a season for not just for the varsity, the JV. They didn't have enough equipment. So just being able to give back and then seeing that turnaround, and it's all we did was get some helmets. They did the rest. They turned it around. They believed in it, and that's what football is all about. It's teaches you life lessons, how to handle adversity, how to deal with it and push forward. So, congrats to them. It's pretty special.
Now, I did like that, though. So we made a donation to the team there to allow them to go ahead and get there, and they played well. It's just nice. It's nice to see things like that. Class act there on that standpoint.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. X and I like Baker Mayfield.
Nation, baby.
Hates him, despises him.
I don't think he's a great QB. He's played well this year, but I don't think he's great QB.
He's played good for a lot of years now.
Oh my God.
He's been in a stable system. Look how much better he's been. Just saying.
Garbage.
This year, a different offensive coordinator again, and still producing.
Again, he's got.
He's like Anthony DeClaire for the Islanders. He's had more offensive coordinators than seasons played in the league.
Oh, stop. Ugh.
Freedom Fund Adventure goes, the New York Giants moved on. Okay, we already read that one.
Oh, come on.
Next.
Drew says, what's funny is it seems like Shedeur Sanders wants to be a Giant too. I sent tweets.
Nice. That'd be the worst case scenario there.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, who the F is this prick Shedeur Sanders think he is? Horrible to disrespect the official like that. That and reports of him attacking teammates, well-documented, spoiled brat. It's what happens when your dad runs the football team.
Yep.
He's not going to be a good pro. He will not be. Sorry.
I do want to put this up here. Got a few NHL things to show. Alexander Ovechkin. He was on an absolute tear this year. Broke his fibia, Grumpy?
Broke his leg.
Going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. He was playing great hockey. He was scoring in droves. He was only 28 goals away from passing Wayne Gretzky. I tell you, if he was healthy the whole season, I think he could have had it this year. Do you think he'll get it done this year, Grumpy?
I don't think so.
Probably not. I agree with you. Now, speaking of another one of those guys with a big legacy, I tell you this, Sidney Crosby just scored his 600th goal. That's special there. Sidney Crosby scored a 600 goal. He'll go down as one of the greatest hockey players there. Definitely of this generation. He'll go, I don't know, Grumpy. He'll probably be, top 10, top 20 hockey player of all time.
I don't know. I guess I don't. He's really good, but I don't think about him like that for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. I just don't.
3 cups like that, I think helps.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's not a great hockey player, but I don't know, top 10. A lot of people say he's top 10. I don't know. He's absolutely going to make the Hall of Fame.
Jim Montgomery, by the way, was canned
God.
This week by Boston, and 5 days later, he's picked up by the St. Louis Blues. All it takes for you to get fired as a head coach is to lose to the Islanders in regulation, and you pretty much you got a good chance of losing. If you lose to the Islanders in regulation, you've got a 20% chance of being fired the next day, and that happened to whoever the heck the old coach for the Blues was, and now Jim Montgomery is brought. He used to be the coach for the Blues, right?
Yeah. No, he was coach Dallas Stars.
Okay, they brought him in as a new head coach 5 days later. Unbelievable on that side. And one more item I want to talk about or put up there.
As a chief,
Connor Bedard is struggling for – hold on.
I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
He is struggling right now for the Blackhawks. The last 11 games, he's got 0 goals and 6 assists. Oh, no. They're saying, hey, you just got to remember why you're special. You got to channel that when you're playing. I don't know. I think it's a whole bunch of worry about nothing, if that makes sense.
Well, maybe he's not a generational talent after all.
Oof. That'd be pretty bad for them, I tell you that.
Well, considering they got rid of Dylan Strome and all these other guys because they wanted to get him. Dylan Strome's been really good. Never understood moving on from him. Honestly, I thought it was dumb when they did it, the Blackhawks. And I mean, Bedard has plenty of time to straighten out. He's 19, 20 years old. They just need a little bit better supporting cast, I think.
A lot better. Goon.
Son X, a few episodes ago, Grumpy told us about him tearing his shoulder while you sat by on your behind and pondered your future. Care to comment?
Trash. I don't know. You were not good enough. You tore your shoulder, and I don't know. Shouldn't have tore it. So that's that story about you bringing in the TV and then you fell or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't walk. Sorry. You couldn't walk.
Okay.
I like how X is still defending his position.
You heard me crash into the door and you just sat on your ass. You lazy.
First time walking.
Jesus. Freedom Fund Adventure.
I like Penn State's quarterback, but he's currently predicted to be a second or third rounder like Dart from Ole Miss until the end of Florida. His lack of ice water in veins and lack of control of emotions make me cautious. You must be talking about Dart because the Penn State kid is not like that. I like the Penn State kid.
Dart,
if I'm the Giants,
receptions at the end of that game to lose them the game, honestly.
Dart. Yeah. But the Penn State kid does have ice water in his veins. I like him.
He didn't have ice water in his veins when they played against didn't they play against Ohio State?
All righty, guys. Let's continue moving. We got about 5 minutes there. Just giving you a heads up here. Drew says here, speaking of Deshaun Watson versus the Rodgers comparison, the Packers only gave up a second-round pick for Rodgers. Cleveland gave up 3 first-round picks for Watson.
That's fair. Drew says, meant the Jets, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Freedom Fund Event says, Son X, are you totally oblivious to how fast Grumpy and the Warden accepted a trade proposal for you a few weeks ago? The only reason you're still in Charlotte is thanks to your brother. Thank him. Drew says, I actually think Joe Douglas was a good GM. He just missed on his quarterback selections. Okay. Well, that's the most important position. You better hit on that one.
Yep. Hey, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave. You guys go ahead and continue there. I'll let you guys wrap it up. Bye, guys.
Okay. All right. Frank from Empire State. Is X going to, you going to be able to shut down the podcast X when
I can turn it off. Yeah.
Frank from Empire State says, yep, the Browns move for Deshaun has to be the all-time worst move in sports history. I think there's been other ones just as bad, but the one that makes it, that elevates it, is the contract and the guaranteed money in the salary cap era. Otherwise, there've been a lot of trades where they haven't worked out and you gave up a whole bunch.
Well, I think it also, the impact of the picks that the Texans have got from those from the trade, I think affects it a lot too.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I feel it. A lot of times they traded a whole bunch of picks for a guy. I mean, Herschel Walker deal, right? Dallas moved them and they turned into 2 Super Bowl wins. So, there's a difference there too. So, I mean, I think there have been worse trades than that. Just the salary cap and how much guaranteed money, that's the issue. And how much they'd have to eat if they cut them. Next, please. Frank from Empire State says Douglas wasn't bad. Woody is the problem. That's the owner, Woody Johnson of the Jets. Drew adds, glad the Titans won, makes my Giants closer to Cam Ward.
See, I don't know. I'm not in on Cam Ward. I'm sorry. The ACC is terrible. The competition in that conference is not good. Okay. We'll see what he does against teams that are in the SEC who have defenses.
We'll find out.
Yep.
Gungun says, gents, what are the chances you blokes sitting through the entire 3.5 hours of Wicked? Is replacing water bottles in Grumpy's house still strongly permitted? It's permitted, but it doesn't happen from X.
That new Wicked movie is 3.5 hours long.
I thought it was. I think this is part 1. I don't know how it's a 2-part movie, to be honest with you. The Broadway play was like 2.5 hours long. I think this one is 2.5 or 2 hours and 45 minutes, but it's only part 1 of 2. Oh. I will not be going to see that. James Farrell says, Grumpy, you forgot Penn State tight end is NFL ready. Whoever drafts him is going to get a really good player. Just as good as Brock Bowers. He's good. I don't know.
Number 44, right?
Yeah, number 44. He's good. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be as good as Bowers, though.
Bowers is really good.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, Son X, no one from Florida said Richardson was the real deal. Unreal talent physically, but may never comprehend football on the high enough level.
Everybody was saying that he was going to be the steal of the draft, that he was going to be phenomenal and
he's
great.
Got a cannon for an arm, and he does. But you know what? He's not accurate.
Nope.
It may be in the punt, pass, and kick competition. I pick him, but not as an NFL quarterback. Don't like him. Drew says, R.I.P. everyone's ears.
That was when TJ played that loud whatever cheering. I don't even know.
Okay. James Farrell says, guys, thoughts on the new All-Star format in the NBA? You think the NHL will have an NHL Cup like the NBA? I think the only reason the NBA did an NBA Cup is because people weren't watching and everybody sits out so many games, load management. They want days off. Well, stop getting paid so much money. 65 games is enough to play in the season. What happened when you play every game? I just need a rest. I don't want to play today. I'm not a fan of the NBA in particular in general. And I don't care about the cup. The NHL will not have that. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Stephen V, nice to see you back. Hello, gents. Who thought the Islanders were losing after they allowed that third period goal? I did. I absolutely thought they were going to lose. Gungu says, next season, will the Mets take the next step or will they continue living in eternal regret? X, what do you think about the Mets?
I don't know. I think you said you think that they're probably the number one team to get Soto, right?
I don't know. But they're certainly one of the favorites to get him.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they need a couple more pieces.
Steve Cohen will spend money to make them a better team.
Yeah. I just think they need a couple more pieces and then they'll be good.
They need pitching.
But I was happy to see them move on in the playoffs. I was hoping they were going to make it to the World Series, but it's a shame. But yeah, they get a couple more pieces. I think they're right in it.
They need pitching. They need pitching. I mean, they're going to have. I don't think. Maybe they. I mean, Alonso, is he worth the money? I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know. He had a couple clutch home runs for them in the playoffs.
Alex Monroe says, they said we should have been worried when they lost to the Raiders on Christmas last year, TJ. And what happened? We won it all. No, this year's different. This team is different than last year's. I think this team, here's the thing. I didn't think last year was their best team, but I thought Mahomes was outstanding down the stretch. And they know how to win. That's the one thing. They know how to win. But I don't think the team is anywhere. Losing Rashid Rice is a huge loss for them. And I don't think they're good enough offensively. Just don't. James Farrell says, you guys tired of all the Snoop Dogg commercials? I am. He's a sellout. I don't care. I'm not blaming that he's a sellout. I'd be a sellout too. But, when you are supposedly, rap guys are not sellouts, right? It's all about being real or whatever. He's a sellout. I don't care. Drew says, I'm not going to lie. I don't see what the Cardinals see in James Conner. Every time I see him run, he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Trey Benson is better. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. Baker is great, says Frank from Empire State. Gungu says, with the holiday season coming up, care to share what your favorite Christmas gift was in each of your childhoods? Does Dog Z thrive in the backwoods?
Dog Z does thrive in the backwoods. Favorite gift? Ooh, for Christmas. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite gift. I've had a lot of favorite gifts.
He always gets good gifts.
Yep.
X.
Everything I've got. Do you have a favorite gift, Grump?
I'm trying to think. I remember I got a hockey magazine one year when Gilles Meloche was a California Golden Seals goalie. I just love that magazine. I got it in my stocking, and I loved it. Loved it. Always wanted a New Orleans Saints helmet. Did not get it. I told the story about the helmet. It was down to $8, and I did not get it. It was a TSS, Times Square Stores, like for 2 years. I'm like, oh, I want the helmet. I want that. Never got the helmet. Went for $8. $8. Drew says, all right, now that the tyrant is gone, you got 23 more hours at X and Grumpy. Wow, Gungu says Chuck Woolery, rest in peace, is dead. He was you know who Chuck Woolery is, X? You do not. His thing, I know TJ doesn't. He was a game show host. Did a lot of different shows. Which Warden, what was his fame? What was the Chuck Woolery? What was that? It was really popular. It was like a not the dating game. Love Connection. I think he was in with Love Connection. You are just as old as me. So there you go. Frank from Empire State says, Why are there no good quarterbacks in this year's draft? I just don't think the quarterbacks are as good this year. I think you're seeing no one develops quarterbacks anymore. It's all basically
who's the best athlete.
Yeah. And it's just, you got to teach them how to play quarterback at the next level.
Yep.
Tough.
You're not playing against powder puff defenses every week like these guys do in college. You're playing against the best of the best every week.
That's very true.
The jump from college to professional is drastic.
Very, very much so. Drew says the NBA has gone to shit since David Stern retired. That's fair. David Stern took the wrong guy under his wing, and Adam Silver. He looks like an alien, that Adam Silver.
He does. He does. All right, and that's the last comment of the day, Grump. What do you want to say?
I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, from TJ, who's gone, myself, and Son X, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope you have a great time. Spend it with your families. And X, what do you have to say?
Yep, same thing for Thanksgiving. I just wanted to say I appreciate all the interaction in the comments as always, and we will see you guys next time.